Hello and welcome to TSB Talk Sport and Business. And if you're a fan of the one and only The Lion King, in that case, what are you doing? If you're not experienced Lion King in any form, then you're missing out a big part of the world that exists, that entertains, and that keeps us all happy and brings a smile on our face. And to bring a big smile on your face, right now we'll be chatting up with Dashaun Young, who's playing the role of Lion King, plays the role of Simba in The Lion King, and is right here on conversation with us on TSB. Dashaun, how are you doing today?
Hello, I'm doing great. Thank you. How are you?
Absolutely fine. Thank you so much for joining us here on TSB. I mean, looks like you're chilling, easy, nice, enjoying the Dubai winters.
Yes, yes, I'm exploring Dubai today. I'm at the Emirates Palace right now, having lunch and just hanging out.
Interesting. So now tell me first thing. You've been playing the role of Simba. This character is it's a delight to watch, and I mean I can just imagine what it would be to play the character of Simba. Tell me, how does it all come about to you?
Yeah, I mean, I first started this role a long time ago in 2007. It came to me, and I was very nervous to take it on, but
Mm-hmm.
it's been a great process. And all these years later, I feel like I've gotten the opportunity to add so much more to my character and portrayal that it's a more well-rounded production of Simba now than it was back then. So it's exciting.
I'm so sure. No, but you mentioned that this role came to you in 2007. The Lion King has
Yes.
been relevant since then, even before then, till now. What is the point that it's still relevant to the audiences, the spectators who come in and enjoy the show every single time in all these years too?
Yeah, I think it's a story that everyone can relate to. It has a message that everyone can connect with in some sort of way. And then on top of that, you have the beautiful artistry, the music. It's a beautiful spectacle. There's no one, even if you're not a musical theater fan, there's no one that can come and see the show and not be moved in some sort of a way and impressed and intrigued in some sort of a way with what we're doing up there.
Absolutely, the 25th year of the play, and I mean, there are these two songs that we've loved, we've enjoyed, "The Circle of Life," "Hakuna Matata."
Exactly.
What do these songs
Exactly.
mean to you when you perform them?
Yeah, they're fun. They're the songs that the audience gets excited about. So you can hear that excitement from them and feel that energy. So it gets you excited on stage when you start singing those. Yeah, absolutely.
Right now, theater is a different beast altogether. When it comes to acting, when you act for the camera, it's a different skill set altogether. But theater is a different feel altogether. You feed a lot from the audience as well. Like you mentioned that they sing along, they want to cheer you. How much of it? How much of your personal energy as an actor is dependent on the reception of the audience?
Honestly, you feed off of the audience a lot. I would hope to say that it's not based solely off of that,
Mm-hmm.
but when you feel that energy from the audience, it definitely gives you a push in a different direction, and it helps you kind of just like get your bearings and give that performance that you want to give them, even if you're a little tired that day or if something's going on. You want to do it for them, and that's the joy of live theater.
Hey, 100%. I mean, any live medium, you have to have that ability to put things behind you, whatever has happened in your personal life, in your day.
Absolutely.
Things going wrong with the family. Back home, maybe you're traveling someplace else. You've just got down off a phone call. You get on stage, you have to be switched on.
Absolutely. But that's kind of great as an actor too. You have to put it all aside and go into this moment, and then you can get back to reality after that.
To totally understand that. Now, you've been into acting for a very long time. What does
Yes, sir.
what does a day in your life look like? When you're acting, when you're not acting, when you have a play lined up. How do you prepare for that role for that particular day? What does it all look like?
Yeah, it's tricky. It depends on the role I'm playing, truly. But this show specifically, the character and the role that I play is very physical. So a lot of my day leading up to it is about the physicality and hitting the gym, stretching, that kind of stuff. And then on top of it, just thinking about your voice, like how much you're using your voice during the day, making sure you're warmed up properly by the time you get to the show, that kind of thing. So it does influence your day a little bit. You can't do everything you want to do because you have to save it for the show. But it's a good challenge to figure out how to ride your line of living your life and being prepared for the show that you have to do every day.
Yeah, I mean, very, very little is normally spoken about the voice of an actor. We
Yeah,
generally say that, oh, acting skills, you have to get your expressions right, you have to get your physicality right, you have to look the part. But
yeah,
what about the voice? I mean, we as radio presenters, everything relies on our voice, but for actors as well.
exactly.
How does the voice preparation go about?
The voice is a tricky thing because I mean you can't really force it sometimes, but so you have to just do the preparation and make sure you have like the technique and have done everything you need to do. But for instance, being somewhere like here, the desert, it's a tricky thing for me to get used to singing in the desert. I've never sang in this sort of an environment,
Hmm.
so it takes a little bit more preparation for me to do the show here than it would in New York City per se. So, but it's been something that's taken getting used to, but I feel like I've gotten used to it, and yeah.
No, I mean, it's a very, very interesting point that you mentioned over here. You finished your last show in UK and you've come here. The weather definitely is drastically different, and thus
Very different.
the pressure of performance also changes because the preparation changes. The temperatures are
Yep.
different. You go out, you don't need a jacket here, right? So,
Exactly. I'm sitting here sweating. So yes.
how's South Abu Dhabi treating you?
But I love it here. I love this
Yeah.
weather. It's great. And so if all I have to do is get used to singing here, I'll take it. I like the warm.
Yeah, no, it's amazing, isn't it? Now there is something that that we all understand and we all want to know more about is the Lion King celebrating the African culture on stage. How does it all come together?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, especially in this show, I mean, we have so many South Africans in the production, which
Hmm.
is fantastic. So it creates a little bit more authenticity in what you're putting on.
Right.
And to be able to like go to a cast member and ask them like, what exactly does this lyric mean? What are they saying? And they actually know.
Hmm.
That's a great authentic way to put on a production because it could easily be done differently and hired with a bunch of English or Americans or anything. You know what I mean? You can do it
Right.
anyway, but the fact that Disney and Michael Castle Group that still try to do it and present it in an authentic way is very great. Yeah,
No, it's amazing. I mean, culturally also the significance comes through amazingly when people who are part of the production understand the cultural significance of the act, isn't it?
exactly. And they bring a different sound to it. Like
Hmm.
when the South Africans sing something, they sing with it from a different place than I as an American sing. So
Right.
it creates a different feeling when you hear them do certain sounds and sing. Yeah.
This is amazing, isn't it? Now, this is something which is my personal, take on the entire skill sets of a performer, and that is that
Mm-hmm.
how difficult does it get? On a good day, yes, we are all happy and everything, but how do you come out of a bad day?
Exactly. Yeah, that's the tricky part. I feel like that's when work starts. Like on a normal basis, you feel great and the show's great and
Right.
everything's going great, but it gets tricky when you're a little under or you're sick or you have hard things going on in your life. That's when you have to kind of dig deeper and it becomes a little bit more work. But that's the challenge and that's the exciting part of it. I think everyone deals with that a little differently, but for me it's kind of easy. The role is so intense that it's easy for me to compartmentalize and just turn off life, jump into the stage show and present it the way I need to for that time.
Now, I mean, my next question was about that. How do you bring Simba to life on stage? How does it all get
Yeah.
along? Like, how does Dashaun Young change into Simba when he gets on stage?
Well, the script makes it easy, but there's a lot of preparation in like movement. Honestly, like when
Hmm.
you learn the show, there you spend hours and hours in front of a mirror, just kind of learning different movement techniques that bring specific characters and specific puppets to life.
Right.
So it does become kind of second nature at a certain point to understand the physicality of that character and bring it across to the audience.
Does it become easier when you have spent so much time playing the same character, or does it make it more challenging that you have to bring in something new every time you want to go out and perform?
Yeah, I think it actually makes it more challenging to keep finding that spark and to find something new and find something that that goes off inside of you to keep it fresh and exciting every day. That makes it more challenging. But with this role, it's been, I mean, like I said, it's been years and I've gotten to go and do other shows, but coming back to it each time, it's been years of just discovering things that I didn't really realize the last time I played the role. Or like just with growing older and with age, I've experienced different things in my life that I hadn't really experienced before. So all of a sudden, singing a song about death and family and these things, it rang more true in a certain time in my life than it did when I first played the role.
Absolutely. I mean, makes sense. With maturity comes in probably the sensibility, as we say. But, we do this one
Exactly.
thing. We do this one thing on the radio, that we go back and probably on one free day, listen to some of our shows, snippets of our show, try to understand what we did, how we did, what could have been different. Do you go back
Yeah,
home and watch the show and say, I messed it up here, I could have done this better? Or probably, wow, this was amazing.
obviously. Well, I am a performer, so I am very sensitive about my work. So yes, I definitely most of the time I think I could have done something better. But it is nice to just like kind of get to a point, sit back and say, you know what, like each day is going to be a little different. It's not ever perfect and set in
True.
stone, but like what you present each day, you hope was what you were trying to get across. And there's no perfect in performing. It's always going to be ebbing and flowing, and that's live theater. And so once you realize that, and you give what you can, as long as you're giving the most that you can that day, I feel like it's going to be a fantastic performance.
No doubts about this. Now, I know you're chilling and having your lunch. I wouldn't want to take too much of your time, but I wouldn't let you go
Yeah.
if it's possible. If
No
it's
worries.
possible to have one line of either Circle of Life or Hakuna Matata live from where you are.
Singing now, you're saying?
Singing now?
Okay. Oh gosh, I'm gonna lower the key a little bit. Okay,
All right.
but sure. It means no worries for the rest of your days. It's all problem free philosophy. Hakuna Matata.
Thank you so much, Dashaun. Thank you so much.
Hey,
Look at that.
hey.
Look at that. You got an audience everywhere. You're a performer, and performers can perform literally everywhere. Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining in.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
It was absolutely a pleasure, and we're looking forward to see you perform at in Abu Dhabi, and I'm sure that these shows again will be as amazing as always that you've done.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, man. Nice talking to you.
Same here. Thank you so much. So, joined us today was Dashaun Young, the Simba from Lion King, obviously, as being played in Abu Dhabi today, tomorrow, and day after, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, that's what the days are. Go out and watch those shows, and I'm telling you, you'll come back singing Hakuna Matata right here on TSB. We'll take a quick short break and come back right